Let's welcome Kathy Holly and Spotlight.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Hawaii. No, I'm not. I'm practically joking about that, but tonight's guests are both from Hawaii. I have the wonderful Patrick Makuakane, who's a director, choreographer, and founder of a wonderful dance company. And then over here I have Jason Laskey, who is a choreographer and a dancer.
Yes.
Correct? Who works with Patrick.
Correct.
All right. Patrick, I have to just talk to you for a minute. This is fantastic. I saw your show at the Palace of Fine Arts in San Francisco in October. And you've got to tell the studio audience, what was the name of the show? It was all about the hula.
Right. Yeah, so the show is called Imua, which means forward in Hawaiian. Imua, hula in unusual places.
Hula in unusual places. And it was fantastic because they were all forms of the hula. You're originally from Hawaii, correct?
Correct, yes.
And how many years were you in Hawaii before you came to America?
Let's see. I was in Hawaii before I came to America. That's a good way to say it. For about 23
Oh, yeah. I caught myself.
No. Actually, many people believe, along with myself, that that's the true way to define it. But I think I left Hawaii about when I was 23. But in some ways, I don't feel I ever left Hawaii. I feel like I'm on loan.
There you go.
Jason, he just got back from Hawaii, and I go back all the time. So, yeah, I feel like I'm still there and here.
Do you need anyone to carry your luggage? I would love to go. Because I only landed on Hickam Air Force Base when I was touring with the USO, and that was the only time I saw Hawaii. But now the show is about you, and Jason, and I want the studio audience to know that you are a choreographer and, of course, director and producer of this fabulous show. And tell us a little bit about the show. It was hula variety, really.
Yeah, several of the shows are like a variety production, so to speak, and some have a theme. But this show, the theme of it was, over the 33 years that we've been in existence, we have performed at some unusual places. I mean, granted, San Francisco itself is an unusual place, right, to have a hula school.
Of course.
But we performed at many interesting, curious places that you would not expect hula to be performed in.
Where? Just name a few.
So,
just a few.
Burning Man, for instance, was someplace that we performed
really?
this year and last year and just had an incredible time. As well as San Francisco Opera House.
The Opera House,
You know, in a plane, 37,000 feet in the air. Yeah.
Really? Of course.
And San Quentin Prison. That's where I teach. I also have a class there.
You do?
Yeah, so it's sort of unusual, I guess.
Yes, no, but this is so wonderful for people to, for them to know about your culture. And that's what I wanted to talk about too. Jason, you are from Hawaii.
Yes.
And so I understand the dance is not just about dancing, but it's about culture of Hawaii. Isn't that right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Absolutely. So that's what I guess I have to ask Patrick too. When you have people in your company dancing, like 40 dancers, how in the world do they learn about the culture and the dance at the same time?
This is like a comedy show going on over here. I don't know what to do, like listen to them or talk to you or what are we doing?
I'm sorry,
That's
it
okay.
is noisy today. It's noisy in the station. But tell me again about this being a culture as well as a dance.
So exactly, hula is more than just a dance because you are really learning about a culture and not just a specific kind of dance. Because the stories that are associated with hula, they tell a story, and you have to understand that particular story in order to convey or express yourself through the dancing. And it runs the gamut from anything you can think of, from falling in love to family ties to delicious food that we love to eat, to our chiefs, to our gods that we pray to. Anything you can possibly imagine is covered in hula. So before the dancers actually perform, we sort of immerse ourselves in that aspect of what we're dancing. And the dancers that you saw on stage at the Palace,
Yes.
they've been with me for decades. I mean, Jason is 20 years. I have
20
22,
years.
25, 28,
He
10.
looks like he's 20 years.
He does. He does.
So, but that's what makes it so unusual, right? The show is so unusual. I just expected traditional hula. Oh, we're going up to the
Except that
hula.
that's not traditional hula, but go ahead.
Thank you. See, you're educating me already. This is it. Let us see a clip of the show that I saw at the Palace of Fine Arts, which blew me away. Blew me away because of all the choreography and everything that you did, the costumes, all the dancers, the different numbers. They were all styles, all genres of music in this show.
Right.
That's what makes it so exciting. I didn't know you could do the hula to swing music.
Me neither. Actually, it kind of worked out.
Here we go. All right. Let's see that clip from the show at the Palace of Fine Arts.
Ia ka manu kau mai luna no hoi ka malu ulu I ka hapapa kau lua ka la ka ua aloha haaheo I ka luna o ka vai hoa a tuku hoa I te tei a o puili ke kumi mali e o ka mua e ko kuli ana e hiki a kuai I a kulana ni ka papa a ke a laila e
I'm just blown away by that. I have to ask you then, the production part of it, the backdrops, everything that, you know, the camera work, the costumes, everything. And okay, the first number I saw was Billie Holiday in the background.
Right.
And that was fantastic to come up with that.
Yeah, well, the first section was entitled Manawahine, which in Hawaiian means powerful women. So it was an homage to powerful women who have inspired me throughout my decades of teaching. And Billie Holiday. I mean, who can't be inspired by Billie Holiday? And of course you could dance hula to her music because it's just so enriching. So,
and that was, then the other number that, you know, that I just loved was the swing dance number. Were you in that number?
Yes, yeah, we were all in it.
How did you learn to swing dance?
I don't know. I don't know. It was
Tell me, it looked so legit. I was just blown away by it.
We were
again.
actually very fortunate to have two of the students that dances in the halal actually are professional swing dancers. So they agreed to come over and work with us for 2 to 3 hours every Sunday and teach all of us who don't know our left foot from our right foot when it comes to swing dance how to move like that.
Well, that's another thing. I mean, the hours that you put into rehearsals, right? How many hours? Because you also have another job, I understand.
Yeah, we all do, which is kind of an interesting thing about this school.
you all have another job. Not you, Patrick. No, Patrick, this is your only job.
Well, you know, when I grew up in Hawaii, halal was, you know, you were a teenager, you were in high school or maybe in college, but, you know, when I got here, it was all of us have day jobs. Many of us have families and other things to do in life. But we spend a good 6 to 8 hours every Sunday.
On
So
Sundays.
in a very literal sense, it's kind of our church, But
Yes.
thank goodness we like
yes.
each other.
And that's when you rehearse and do all of that. But the swing numbers were just fantastic. That was so unusual to expect. And then the orchestra. Now, what is the name of that? Yes.
The name of the band is Kahula Nui, and they were the impetus for creating that piece because they're like one of my new favorite Hawaiian bands. And as you can hear, they're specialized in jazz Hawaiian music, so Hawaiian jazz. And so infectious and a lot of fun. So how could you not want to dance in a combination of that kind of style is Lindy Hop and our
Yes, that's right.
two women who commandeered that whole Lindy Hop production have been with me for a very long time. So it was great to utilize their talents to have them teach the company. And I got a little time off during that period, so that was nice.
That was great because you are part of the show too. I mean, you MC. As
Right.
well
Get
as you
that
came
guy off
out.
the stage.
Get that guy off. No, it's just enough. It was perfect. I think that's so wonderful because, again, for people who don't know this, I mean, you have to go to the Palace of Fine Arts once a year to see this fabulous show. Am I right? It's just once a year.
Yes, once
but
a
then
year.
I understand your students, if they study long enough with you, or even if they haven't been with you for 20 years, like you have, Jason, that they will have a chance to dance in a show. Is that right?
Yes, we have every 5 years what's called a sort of student showcase. The term in Hawaiian is hoike nui, which is a grand recital rather than just a recital. And that's because we have about almost 300 students in the show.
Oh, my gosh, 300.
Right.
How do you get everybody together? Do they give up a Sunday as well?
Well, they give up a lot during the week, yes. So the dance company rehearses on Sunday, and the other classes rehearse during the week. And they spend a lot of time rehearsing to ensure that the caliber of the show lives on.
Yeah, but I mean, all of the choreography in those chorus numbers, they're all together. All the moves are together with how many dancers are in most
That's
numbers?
about, the dance company is about 30 dancers, about 23 women, 7 men. It fluctuates depending on who's pregnant or not.
Oh, we know the men aren't.
The last few years. Good, make some more babies for dancers.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
Yes, so that's the dance company. Right?
And when you say, now with the dance company, you have children.
I do.
Right? You do. Does your wife come to rehearsals with you? Is it kind of like a family where you can watch? They can watch.
She not only comes, she dances.
Oh, she's a dancer
So
too.
I met my wife through the school.
How romantic.
Right.
Yeah.
Did you dance your way to the altar?
I would like to think so. I think I kind of stumbled along the way, and she picked me up. So
This is good advertising. I realize that, Patrick. All right, so everybody. But you don't just accept someone that says, I mean, I understand there is a process here that you have to be dedicated if you want to study with Patrick. Isn't that correct?
I think in every hula school, it's not just mine. Yes, dedication is a good thing.
Right.
Especially if you're going to be a part of the dance company of a certain halau or Hawaiian dance school.
Yes.
Yeah, it takes a lot of effort and time and dedication. Yeah,
Of
absolutely.
course, because I know it's like practicing anything, and I understand that, because if you're not into it, then you'll miss rehearsals, then you will have other excuses. So
Then you're out.
and you're out. Well, it makes sense, and it's hard to do that sometimes with people.
Yeah,
but
it's difficult.
you have to be dedicated. Now, I understand you have another show that I have a clip of.
Yes,
And
right.
would you tell me about the show? This is the voice of the people.
Right, it's called Kaleo Kanaka, like you said, the voice of the people. And it commemorated over 100 years worth of Hawaiian language newspapers.
Oh my
Like
goodness.
the mid-19th century to I think about 1938 maybe.
Oh.
And what a lot of people don't realize is that
They're going to roll it in. Well, then you can talk more about it.
I'll tell you after.
E
That is another wonderful show that I wish I had seen, because obviously there's stories then from newspapers, literally stories.
So all the pieces in the show came from the Hawaiian language newspapers, or was inspired by the collection that we found in the Hawaiian language newspapers.
And who found all these?
Well, you know, it's actually, there was a project called Ike Ku'oko'a, which means...
Would you practice that slowly, please, for me?
Yeah, that's all right.
All right, okay, I'll get it later.
But it was a project that digitized over, I think, 1 million pages of Hawaiian language newspapers to make them accessible, and we were part of that project. So I was so inspired by what we were doing with the project that I decided to create a show that featured all pieces from the Hawaiian language newspapers. It's a treasure trove of information. Yes.
I guess it's like the Bible of Hawaii, if you want to call it,
yes,
with stories.
Actually, yes.
I mean, especially with the woman who was lying down and someone was over her. I have no idea what that was.
Oh, that was from the epic myth of Hi'iaka Ikapoliopele. Yeah, so many interesting stories and historical facts and ads.
Ads.
Yeah, advertising anything you could possibly imagine, from horse carriages to wallets.
Now, what about the women in white?
And that was from a Hawaiian jazz section, an actual ad that spoke about these jazz musicians who wanted to perform at your party for a nominal fee, and they're blind.
Oh my goodness, this is really, it's such an education, Patrick. It really is, because that's what makes it so much fun. You know, I'm learning all kinds of things just talking to you.
Well, we hope that people are entertained as well as educated.
Oh,
and
entertained for sure. I mean, I didn't want to leave the show. I remember when I went to the show at the Palace of Fine Arts in October, I said, I wonder how long the show is. And most shows, you know, I'm going, oh gosh, it's almost intermission. I didn't want intermission to come with your show. It's the production quality too. And how much time do you spend on the next show? Here we are. This is now the new year. Are you already preparing for October's show?
Well, in a way, yes. But we're taking that show you saw to the Hawaii Theater in Hawaii.
That's right. I read that. And when is that going to be?
April, right.
So if you're going to Hawaii out there in April, I remember I looked at that on your...
Easter weekend.
Easter weekend, all right. And
your celebrate the resurrection and come see our show.
Well, and that's right. And that'll be on the monitor, too, before we close the show.
Great.
We'll scroll down, and they'll have your website. And I know everything's a lot is on your website. Yes. I was just blown away by the titles, director, founder. So you found the Naleihulu company in 1985.
Yes.
That's how old the company is then.
Right, yeah, old.
I mean, that's how young it is. And you have been with Patrick in the United States studying.
For almost 20 years, yeah.
But you started in Hawaii when you were young,
I started in Hawaii when I was in basically high school.
And how about your children? Are they going to continue?
They've started to. So my wife Lola and I actually have 2 boys, and our oldest boy is actually studying with Kumu for learning hula. To perform this first show.
Oh, great. How old is your oldest boy?
6.
6, so he started to study already.
Yes.
So how young can you take students?
I believe we start them at 4.
Oh.
But if they're gifted and exceptional, bring them at 2.
There you go, everybody out there. And of course, on the website, they can get all the information of how to contact you, et cetera. But I'm very interested in about this book. This book about you, The Natives Are Restless by Constance Hale. Constance Hale. Can you tell me just a little bit about that, how that happened?
Yeah, The Natives Are Restless it's pretty much our story of how we came to be and how I moved over from Hawaii to San Francisco. sort of like post-Hawaiian cultural renaissance. So we discovered, sorry.
No, go ahead.
So it's a post-Hawaiian cultural renaissance story. We've discovered who we are in the 70s by going back to music and dancing and sort of researching our identity. And now that we've found our identity, what are we doing with it? Where are we going? So that's part of the movement into hula mua, the kind of dance that we do, which has a more modern, progressive feel.
Yes,
how do we take our
definitely.
identity and preserve our traditions, yet evolve? So
Evolve and get other younger people maybe interested.
Right, yes. Younger
And of
people,
course,
that's good.
just and in general, people, because I don't go to Hawaii. Darn it. I would
There's no
love
excuse.
to.
You're very
I
close.
know, Patrick. I'm going to have. We'll talk about that after the show. If I could just maybe be makeup artist or something, I'd love to do that. No, it's just so exciting to think. All these people that I know have been to Hawaii, and they say, "What, Kathy? You haven't spent any time in Hawaii?" No, but good friends of ours are over there now. So when you take the show to Hawaii, after that, what will happen with it? Will you go elsewhere?
Well, actually, after that, in August, we have what's called an uniki that we're preparing for, which is for several years, Jason has been part of this particular class, where it's an intensive study in traditional hula and protocol and chant. And so August is the actual graduation. So they have a lot of work to prepare. Not they, we all do have a lot of work to prepare for that in August. So that's what we're going to be concentrating on when we get back in April.
And chanting is another part of the Hawaiian cultures, and I mean song.
Yeah, an important part, whether it's in song or just in recitation, yes.
And I do remember in the show that I saw in October that you had opera singers come in, and something else, La Vie en Rose, which I sing in French.
Well, actually, it was the flower duet.
That was the flower duet. But
Yeah,
did you
right.
not do something with La Vie en Rose? Or
No, not
Okay.
this year.
Maybe you didn't. All right. Well, I want you to think about that. I'll come in and sing
love
it.
La Vie en Rose.
I'll sing it in French, and someone behind
right.
me can do the hula. No, it was the flower duet. It was absolutely beautiful. Again, you're not only sharing Hawaiian culture, but you're adapting it to some other cultures as well, or musically.
Yeah,
Musically,
absolutely
you're
right.
taking the dance and using it, which just makes it so much fun. So, Jason, what is your objective? Do you think you're going to stay with the company and keep dancing?
As long as I can. Yeah, as
Yeah,
long as these
that's
bones
my
keep going.
objective for him too.
I was just telling him earlier that it's funny because I used to be the young one, and I don't feel like the young one anymore. And it's when every year progresses and progresses, we get older and older, and somehow the shows get harder and harder. There's a lot more to do
I
in
can
every
only
single show that we have
imagine.
to do. So
And
it's
you
great.
exercise when you dance. I know dancers work out, right? Of course.
Yeah, we need
The
to.
idea is you should exercise outside
Yeah.
of dancing.
That's right. And then come to class ready to
You're a better
dance.
dancer.
Well, it's just been so great having you on the show. This has been a treat.
Well,
A
mahalo
treat.
for the invitation.
Now mahalo means thank you.
Very good.
I'm sorry. It's one thing I did. See, I wasn't sure about what that meant.
Now
But
you know.
and aloha is hello.
Hello, goodbye, love, compassion. It means a lot.
Many different things. Okay. And mahalo. All right. Well, thank you so much for being on this show. Mahalo.
Hui ho, aloha.
You are always welcome back. Oh, we still have time here. I thought maybe I was given the signal that we had to cut this out.
Okay.
Is there anything you'd like to tell people about the Hawaiian culture and the dance?
Boy, where do you want me to start?
don't know.
Why don't I talk about the different categories of hula, just to give
Yes,
people
I would
idea.
love
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
that would
right.
be great.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So basically, hula is broken down into two main categories. One is hula kahiko, or traditional style of dancing, which is usually accompanied by a percussive instrument like a drum or a gourd,
yes.
and chanting. So that's what you saw in the first piece in the clip for the newspaper show. And the other section is hula awana, or dancing that's accompanied by singing and more modern instruments, the ukulele, the guitar, the bass,
right.
So, and I don't want to say I developed. Actually, my teacher was the one who developed, Robert Casimiro. Another style that I call hula mua, which is hula movement. It's a bit more stylized, accompanied by non-Hawaiian music. So everything from Billie Holiday, opera, electronic music, alternative music, anything I get my hands on that I find interesting and exciting, I'll use. And For me, hula is one of the most beautiful expressions, beautiful forms of expression. So I don't just limit it to Hawaiian music. And I love all kinds of music. So
Well, that's what I found in the show. And you have a title because you reached that. Well, you did study with someone. You talked about
yes.
And you are a master. You're considered a master.
Well, you know what's funny is the woman that I graduated as a kumu hula from, and people use the term master of hula or hula master, but she says, and I agree with her, all the masters are gone. Yeah, so a hula teacher is fine, or kumu hula. Yeah.
Well, here again, I think it's my second time to say that we have to go. I'm not sure, but I think it is, according to the clock. And I have enjoyed having both of you on. I would love to, if I ever possibly can, come to a rehearsal sometime and watch.
Sure.
Is that possible?
Yes.
I would love that. And then the second thing I would love is I'm going to practice my version of the hula. I notice the hands are very important.
Well, actually,
No.
the hands are
You're the
important,
teacher.
but a lot of people think that you're telling a story with your hands and feet. But what you're doing is you're giving dimension to the story that's being told. So hula is always accompanied by poetry, what we call mele in Hawaiian.
yes.
So that's the real storyteller, and we're just embellishing and giving it a little bit more interest and drama.
Well, that's right. And what is so great is everything was coordinated. Is that the right word? It was
Sure.
dance that everybody was doing the same movement. That's
the
takes
idea.
practice,
Right.
practice, practice.
does.
Hours of practice, right. Oh, well, thank you again. I guess I'm not fibbing this time. I think we really are saying goodbye. So how do we say that in from Hawaii
You
again?
can say aloha ahui ho until we meet again.
Aloha, hui, and go ahead.
One more time.
Aloha,
Ahui ho.
ahui ho.
There you go.
Aloha, ahui ho. I know, I can't believe it. I think next time we're going to do this a little differently.
How about we do it the traditional Hawaiian way, right?
Okay.
Aloha e, aloha no, aloha e, aloha no lai. Aloha, aloha ahui ho.
Try it one more time. Can I try it?
Can you try it? No, don't.
Okay. Do it one more time, Patrick.
One
One
more
more
time,
time.
but-
Live. Go ahead. One
all
more
right.
time.
Aloha e, aloha no, aloha no lai. Aloha,
Now-
aloha ahui ho.
That's definitely chanting. I mean, that's a goodbye with a chant. And you were perfect. You were right on pitch.
That's helpful.
Wasn't
I
he?
tried.
All right.
Yeah.
And Jason, do you sing a little bit? Could you
He's a
try
beautiful
little bit?
singer.
Come on, try a little bit.
Aloha e, aloha no lai. Ahui ho.
Ahui ho. Ahui ho. Bye, everybody. Let's wave goodbye. Wave goodbye.
You do that well. Wait, shot it, what's up?
Hey mambo, mambo Italiano.
waving.
Hey mambo, mambo Italiano. Go, 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 you mixed up Siciliano. Are you Genovese to the mambo like a crazy with a hey mambo? Don't want a tarantella, hey mambo. No more a mozzarella,